This is our lesson 2 of Life in the UK study guide course. As I said in my previous video, that we will be learning the book, and I will be teaching the whole of the Life in the UK study guide book in 33 lessons. Okay, and this would be from the study guide 2026 edition, the essential study guide, which is required for ILR and British citizenship tests. Okay, so I'm going to introduce you to the book, and this is what I will do in every lesson so that if anybody joins in the middle, they know what we are doing. So this is the study guide 2026 edition, and as you could see that it is Life in the UK test study guide, and it is essential for ILR and British citizenship. So this slide is about the information about the book. Now, in the book there are 7 chapters. Okay, chapter numbers 1, 7, and 8, they are not tested, which means that you will only be tested in 5 chapters. Okay, the test, Life in the UK test, will come from only 5 chapters. Okay, which are chapter number 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So what is chapter 1, 7, and 8? So chapter 1 is basically introduction, chapter 7 is appendices, and chapter 8 is where you have some practice tests. Obviously it is good to study them, but this is outside the domain of the test. So this course is about chapter 2, 3, 4, and 4, 5, and 6. If you understand these 5 chapters, you can attempt any test. You can answer any questions from any test. Okay. Now, how do we do things here? Okay, so I would suggest you either buy the book, but obviously if you don't want to buy the book, that's fine. You can get this book from the library. Your local library has this book. Okay, so get the book, and when we study this here in the videos, you open the same pages, okay, and then you learn things along with me. What I'll do is, on each page I will try to highlight those things which are the most important things, and I can give you certainty that there would be questions from that. I mean, not in every test, but those are the bits which are definitely used to make Life in the UK questions. Okay, so basically it is just like the classroom thing, but obviously I'm making this video, so it is a kind of online learning from you. So you will have the book, you will have the page number. Let's go on to the next slide. So for example, let me show you here. So on this side, yeah, so you will have this page number here. Now that page number is from the book, and this is the text on that page number. So what I will do is I will read this text and highlight the most important things here. So because you will have your book with you, okay, so you also highlight those things, and then you try to learn those things. In each video we will try to cover 3 to 4 pages only, okay, from the book. So in this way, in 33 lessons we will try to cover the whole book. Okay, so I will teach you only a few pages every lesson, and for every lesson I will highlight the most important things, and you will have your book open and you will highlight those things, and just focus on those things, just try to understand those things, and then at the end of the test, okay, in the second last slide, I will have 10 questions for you, so which will be prepared from these 3 or 4 pages. Okay, so let's make it simple this way. So you will have your lessons 3 to 4 pages every day, every lesson. At the end you will have 10 questions from those pages, just to consolidate your learning, just to test your learning, and that's it. And then we move on to the next lesson, and this will be repeated over and over again, and in this way we will finish the whole book. And by the time you finish the book, you will have done so many questions, and then you will be able to do the test very easily. So let's start the book. So book your test. Now that's very important thing. I have made a separate video on how to book your life in the UK test, both in English and Urdu. So here I will just go briefly because this is one of the pages of the book, so I will read this for you. But if you want to look at those videos, okay, do look at that, please. So if you go to my channel, click on the playlist, and from the playlist choose Life in the UK, and then go to, I think it's 3 or 4 years ago. So it's the same way of booking the test and what documents you have to take. So you must book your test online, okay, through Life in the UK test booking website. Okay, in my video I have shown you how to book the test, going on the website and taking you step by step. So see that I am highlighting things. You will need valid photo ID, debit or credit card, and email address. Okay, debit, credit card for paying money, and email address. Okay, so you need three things: valid photo ID. Valid means it should be in date, it shouldn't be expired. Credit card, debit card, which you use to pay the money, and your email, because your booking information will come to the email. If you don't have your email, you can use your husband's or wife's emails or somebody else's emails. You must pay the test fee, of course. When you create an account to book your test, you must provide information such as place and date of birth, okay, address and nationality. Okay, so these are basic things. You must also provide your home office reference number if you have one. If you don't have one, that's fine. Okay, you will have been issued with one of this if you had previous contact. I mean, let's say if you are applying for indefinite leave to remain, so before that you must have some kind of applications, so you can use that reference number. But reference number is not a big issue. Remember your details, your place of birth, date of birth, your address, nationality, your name, or valid ID. These are the most important things. The following are acceptable forms of photographic ID. Number one, a biometric residence permit or residence card. This document must be in date. So please make sure do not use expired documents because they will not be accepted. You will waste your money. A passport from the country of origin. This is the best document, I would say, but that also needs to be in date. Okay. The next thing, a European Union ID card. Okay, if you're from European countries, you must have a European ID card, and also it must be in date. No expired document can be used, or a travel document which is also in date. So these are the only 4 type of acceptable documents that you have to take. Okay, so I mean, there are some issues that I have discussed in my separate video, how to book your test, and I don't want to go into that detail, but sometimes what happens is that people use their biometrics to book the test, and then they take their passport on the day of the exam. They will be rejected. They cannot do the exam. So I think we will look at this. Yeah, here. See that this, I'm not making stories. This is page number 18 from this book, from the Life in the UK book. Okay, so let's look at the important things. It is very important to make sure that the details you register when booking exactly match the ID and supporting documents. This is extremely important information you take with you on the day of the test. Okay, so I will explain in a minute. If they do not match, for instance, you registered your full name, but your ID shows an initial, you will not be allowed to take the test, and your fee will be not be refunded, mean wasted. Okay, so we have had lots of reports where candidates who have been turned away at the test center because of this. So for example, let me explain that to you. For example, your name is let's say what should I think? Okay, John Smith. Okay, so for example, your name is John Smith, but on your ID it says J Smith. Now if you book your test with John Smith, yeah, and your ID says J Smith, you will be rejected. Okay, it wouldn't be acceptable. And if your ID says John Smith, but when you are booking your test, you write J Smith or John S, you will again be rejected. So to make life easy, let's make it very simple. Try to copy your name and other details as they are in the IDs, okay, whether your passport or biometrics, whatever order they are, okay. So please have a look at my website. Even if you change your first name and surname, then that would be a problem. For example, if your first name is Smith and second is John, but when you are booking you write John as your first name and Smith as your surname, you will be rejected again, okay. And remember, you will waste your £50. Okay, now if you have registered for the test with your married name, okay, and your ID is in your maiden name, that's very important again, okay, then you must bring an original UK marriage certificate or UK spouse visa, okay, and this must be in date. Without one of these, your test will be refused and you will not receive any refund. That's again a thing. So sometimes what happens is that some female candidates have a different name as their maiden name. Maiden name is when you have your name before marriage, and when you marry somebody, you change your name, you change your surname to your husband's name. Okay, so in that situation, what happens is that you would bring your marriage certificate with you, okay, because now you have two names. Okay, you cannot add two names into the form. You cannot have two names. There is no provision for providing two names when you are booking. So in that situation, so for example, if your maiden name was something and then your married name was something else, and your ID shows your married name, or ID shows your maiden name, but now different ID. So for example, your passport shows your maiden name, your biometrics shows your, or visa shows your married name, then you have to have a marriage certificate to prove that yes, your name was changed. So please make sure that you take care of these things. All right, so this is something which which is very common. So you will be directed to 5 test centers close to you when you book. So when you book, you will, when you put your address, you will be given 5 test centers. Okay, you must take your test at one of these 5 centers. If you book your test elsewhere, yeah, you will not be allowed to take the test, and your fee will not be refunded. That is also very important thing. Let's say you book the test, you put your address, and based on your address, they will give you 5 centers which are close to you. Now you can choose between those 5 centers, but you cannot choose something which was not on the list. I mean, there, let's say you live in Reading or Slough or Oxford, okay, so around Oxford, let's say there are 5 test centers, but you were going to Scotland to see your cousin, so you thought, okay, you can take the test in Scotland, and you booked your test in Scotland. Now that will be a waste of money, okay, because you will not be allowed to take this test because you did not choose from those 5 test centers that were given to you. Okay, so please make sure you do that as well. You may have to wait a few weeks for your test appointment. The earliest you can take your test is 3 days after booking. You can cancel your test without change up to 3 days before your test. Okay, if you cancel within 3 days, your test will not be refunded. Okay, so for example, you book your test today. For example, today is the 25th. Okay, so you cancel your test before 3 days notification, you will not be refunded. Okay, so within 3 days, yeah, for example, if your test is on the 1st of, let's say, May, okay, so you should leave enough time to cancel your test. You can cancel on the 25th, fine, you will be refunded. You cancel on the 26th, fine, you will be refunded. But if you cancel on the 27th, because now you have only within 3 days, so you will not be refunded. Okay, So please make sure you take care of all of these things. Very small things, but sometimes they can create quite a lot of problem, okay, and obviously waste of money. All right, so be careful about writing your names, how to fill in the application form, and other things. Right, take and pass the test. Make sure you have good night's sleep. Okay, these are all good things. Okay, um, but here there are some things which you need to be very careful about. Have rest and don't take any tension. Come to the test early. Okay, be sure you come to your appointment earlier than your time, because they would check your IDs and everything. Um, when you come into the test center, the staff will register your details. I mean, it's just like you go, you normally check in and everything. You will be given a locker to put your belongings. Okay, so that's important. You cannot take anything with you, and obviously there are cameras. Okay, you will take the test using a computer provided by the test center, and you will be allowed to run through a few practice questions that you're familiar to test software. Right, the first couple of minutes, like 5 minutes, would be the practice ones. Okay, so once you are ready, they would start the test. Once the test is started, nobody can stop it, or you cannot ask for any help, not even the technical help, I tell you. So each applicant's test is begun individually by the test supervisor, and your test will not begin until you say that you are ready. Okay, as I said, you will do some practice questions, and once you are ready, your test would start. Once it starts, it does not stop then. Once your test begins, you will have 45 minutes, and these are some of those details. Okay, so there will be equipment allowing to hear the questions, answers. Yes, you will have headphones as well. If you don't want to read the questions, you want to listen to the question. So what you would do is you will have your headphones on, you will click on the question, and the question statement will be read out to you. Okay, in this way you don't have to read, so you would listen. Okay, what happens after this? If you pass, then you will be given a unique reference number. This is very important, as you will need this number to complete your citizenship or settlement application. All right, so this unique reference number, I mean, when you complete your ILR or application form for British citizenship, they would ask you, have you done life in the UK? You would say yes. Okay, they wouldn't ask you now upload this document. They would then ask you, okay, put the reference number. So as soon as you put the reference number, unique reference number in there, that will complete the process. Okay, but obviously later on you will have to provide the evidence and all that stuff. Okay, so in this page, these are some of the most important things that you have to take care of this. So see that we don't have to read every word that's written on this. Okay, so if you don't pass the test, you can taste the test again. However, you will need to rebook and pay again and wait at least 7 days. So you cannot book the test inside 7 days. Okay, you can take as many times as you can, but for example, if you fail the test on the 1st of May, let's say, so you will have to book the next test on the 8th of May after 7 days. Okay, so these are some of the things that we covered today, and based on whatever you have done today, these are some of the questions. Okay, so what you would do is, please stop the video here. I would suggest you to take a notebook with you and read the questions. For example, this question number 1. Okay, so read the question, this question, answer this question in your notebook, and then once you have done all of the 10 questions, go back and check whether you have answered them correctly or not. You can leave a message for me that you, let's say, scored 8 out of 10, 7 out of 10. So I just want to see how things are going with my subscribers and viewers. Okay, if you still have any questions, please let me know. Thank you very much, and I wish you all the best. Bye.